What are the best and worst live concerts you've seen? Mine, RHCP, was the worst. Best was Iron Maiden. Best, Blue Man Group. Worst, Blue Man Group. I haven't been to a lot of concerts. Back in 2002 or '03, I dated a girl who worked as a stagehand for the Blue Man Group in Chicago. I got a free ticket, so I went. I don't remember much anymore. The only memory is a short clip of them playing the giant PVC pipe instrument. Best? There's been many, but Prince was a head above the rest. That man must have sold his soul to the devil for that talent and charisma. Cannot believe I never went to see him. Hate myself for it. Best? Bob Dylan. Worst? Bob Dylan, A Different Time. This has been his shows since the '80s. He's either incomprehensible or blows your dick off. I like the analogy that on bad nights he sounds like if Scooby-Doo started a old-timey band but threw in some jazz. Same exact answer. The best and worst concerts I've ever been to are both Bob Dylan concerts. He just changes so damn often, you never know what it's going to be like that year, or even month. A lot of people on Reddit see the horror stories and assume it's always like that. And I don't blame them. It's like 60% really bad, 20% decent, 10% good, and 10% unbelievably good. Sounds like my experiences with Sonic Youth. They've blown my mind and bored me to tears. Worst was Smashing Pumpkins' Best, Susie and the Banshees, in like 2002 when I was 11. First concert. Were you also at the 2008 Smashing Pumpkins show in Chicago? I just wanted to hear the stuff that made them famous, and instead got to listen to Billy's masturbatory stuff for an hour before I walked out. He did that in the '90s as well. Worst concert I ever saw. Only one I've left early. The Beastie Boys played right before them and put on one of the best shows I've seen. Jealous that you saw Susie and the Banshees. Last time I saw Smashing Pumpkins, the performance just seemed lazy. Best was Rob Thomas. Worst was CCR. Sound was way too loud for the venue size. And then we had this drunk dude who showed up late screaming, "Play Susie Q" right in our ears the whole show. They fucking opened with Susie Q, dipshit. Where were you? I really hope somewhere else in this post someone is commenting CCR was their worst concert. Not because of volume or drunk crowd members, but because they didn't play Susie Q best, Queen with Adam Lambert. Hearing Brian May play the guitar solo to Bohemian Rhapsody live was a bucket list item. Worst, 30 Seconds to Mars. Opened for Muse, another one of the best I've seen, after a long break due to Jared Leto concentrating on acting. They were rusty to say the least. Same with Queen plus AL, absolutely stunning show in 2019 at MSG in NYC. Somehow it's just amazing to think that we have Queen plus Adam Lambert just because of a TV reality show. I'm fully prepared to be downvoted for this one, but Nickelback. It was their 2012 tour, and they had Seether and Bush touring with them, plus another group or two that I can't remember off the top of my head. It was just one big party and a lot of fun. Nickelback does not deserve the hate they get. I said what I said. Best, Shakira in 2010. That woman is a machine and can do it all. Worst, Madonna in 2012. The show itself was technically fine, but she was like an hour and a half late and did a bunch of remixes to classics that I did not care for at all. It's a shame because I had been wanting to see her for years at that point. Best, Rammstein, on the Life-Ad tour. Around 2010, I think. This was at the Oracle Arena in Oakland. I cannot overstate how good they are live. Lots of crowd interaction, awesome sets, pyro. We were all going apeshit. If you ever get the opportunity to go see Rammstein, you should do it. Worst? Marilyn Manson around 2013. He was already drunk when the show started, had no energy, was slurring his words, and standing with his back to the crowd a lot. He continued drinking throughout the show, so it just got worse and worse. I can't wait for the next North American Rammstein tour. I'm going even if I have to fly to another state. I've only scratched the surface of their catalog, but I know the show is killer. Best, Tedeschi Trucks Band. Probably the best live band going right now. Best guitar player on the planet. A top 5 modern female vocalist, with a backup singer who might be top 10. Backup singers better than most other bands' lead singers. Wild levels of talent at every instrument. People who have forgotten more about music than any of us will ever know. Edit. Here's that backup singer out Aretha-ing Aretha Worst. Counting Crows. Horrific. I would have left if I wasn't seeing the bands after them. We've just been at the same shows at some point, lol. I've also had to wait out Counting Crows at a festival more than once, ha ha ha. Very interesting answer about TTB. I wouldn't have considered them as the best live band now, but your reasoning is so fucking sound I can't actually argue. They're so talented and always put on a great show. My fave TTB set was probably at a mountain jam a while ago, like a decade or 12 years ago. Definitely part of what makes a TTB shows is the crowd vibe. I saw them last year at New Orleans Jazz Fest, and it was merely good, but the times I've seen them at the Warner Theater in DC, those were unbelievable. Just blew the roof off the place. An enclosed, intimate venue with the band and crowd feeding off of each other leads to things like this. And man, those last 4 minutes especially. That energy was definitely missing from the Jazz Fest set. I got blocked on Twitter by a major music critic for simply pointing out that Adam Duritz sings off-key. My favorite part of the concert was when he decided to go off on some singing tangent and kept repeating "like a feather" in different off-keys. Finally, someone near me yelled, "We get it! You're a fucking feather!" It cut through everything, and I'm positive Adam heard it. LOL's Derek Trucks really is the man to see. I saw Counting Crows this summer because I went to see Santana. Counting Crows was terrible. Luckily, Santana was electric, even though Carlos was having hip issues and had to sit the whole show. Best was the Anger Management Tour. Limp Bizkit, Eminem, and Papa Roach. Seeing a mosh pit for Eminem was something else. Best, Green Day. Worst, Creed Gwar is the best and no other live show even matters after seeing a Gwar show. OMG. I forgot about my experience seeing Gwar. It was literally the best concert ever. Best was Metallica. Worst was Megadeth at Ozfest. The sound mix was just horrible. Best, Paul McCartney, followed closely but in a very different way by Regina Spektor. Worst, Cat Power. I think she was going through something at the time, but she was almost 2 hours late for the show, kept stumbling over words and basic chord changes and restarting the same songs. The lights in the venue also wouldn't go down so you could see everyone slowly trickling out. We left early and she made eye contact with us as we left. It was pretty heartbreaking. I can't listen to her anymore without remembering this very low moment. I would love to see Regina Spektor live. She's an incredible musician, just her and her piano, she's quite enchanting.